Okay. Good morning, everyone, and happy Veterans Day. Oh, I forgot to make this change. There we go. There's the one I want. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. It is going to be definitely train jumping tracks all over the place today because there is just so much to talk about that's happened since Friday. Well, actually, since Thursday. Since Friday, we tried to avoid politics. But there's been so much that has happened over the past few days that funny, sad, serious, unfreaking believable, people losing their minds, and people making decisions that we have got to look at and wonder what in the hay is going on, and some things that we need to look at and make some phone calls on. So, but I did want to say happy Veterans Day to all my fellow veterans out there. I've never made it a secret. I'm retired Air Force, 17 years on the flight line, 3 years doing office work. So, well, total out of my 20 years, about 6 years doing office work because you get bounced around doing all kinds of things when you're on the flight line. But anyway, but my primary job was always and shall remain F-15 avionics. Yes, I was a pointy head. For people who are old enough to understand that, yeah, we had slang terms for each other that today are rather viewed rather as inappropriate and mean, and yeah. Anyway, hey Josh, good morning. Digi, good morning. Okay, don't blame you for lurking. Okay, Mass, go ahead and post a link to that if you want, if you can, and I'll make sure I watch it. Okay. So, but yeah, go ahead and post a link to your stream. I've got no, or your video. I've got no problems with it. You know that. So, first thing I want to do here is I want, just as a reminder to everybody, yes, here we go. We now even have the Space Force. So instead of the old 5 branches, we've got 6 now. Everybody's badges. We can pick on each other, but if you didn't serve, watch it. Yeah, I know that's an old joke. Well, it's not a joke. It's the truth. But okay, Mass, good to go. All right, right now my tabs are full, but I will open that up later on and take a look at that as I close tabs. Let's see here. What's up here first on my agenda? All right. We talked about Peanut the squirrel last week. And Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. And there were some, and I never mentioned the woman's name that was being accused of having spread or having contacted DEC, the Department of Environmental Conservation, I believe is what it's called, there in New York. But turn this guy in for owning the squirrel. Because there were I felt that there just wasn't enough there to say that, yeah, she absolutely did do it. And now there is this posted on X by a guy by the name of Amuse. Here is a New York FOIL, Freedom of Information. I don't know what the L stands for, probably letter, I don't know. Response indicating that this woman's name was not associated with any report to the New York authorities about the squirrel. Her lawyer has filed additional Freedom of Information requests for all complaints and records related to Mark Longo and Peanut. Presumably, when he receives those back from the New York, he'll have the name of the person who actually made the complaint to further exonerate this woman. I've got the bug bin here. They're outside doing their thing. That's why Spanky's barking, and that's why we're not letting him outside. So I'm sorry, but we're going to have to put up with him for a few minutes. But I'm glad I did not jump on that bandwagon of bashing this woman. Because the jury is still out on whether or not she did it. So once again, people, yeah, hey, Fury afternoon. Yeah, Fury, who knows what the hey it stands for. But anyway, Fury, Mass Creations put up a link to a video that he's created. So go ahead and put that in your TBW, to be watch list. All right. So fortunately, I didn't jump on this bandwagon bashing this woman, because whoever it was that did turn in Longo is deserving of public ridicule. Just as the state officials that deemed it necessary to kill these animals instead of doing the 10-day waiting period to see if they actually had rabies, deserve much more than public ridicule. There is a bill being advanced that'll make it 72 hours that they have to maintain the animals prior to killing them. And that's to give the owners a chance to appeal everything. Personally, I don't think 72 hours is enough. But that's what the bill is going. Well, that's the proposed bill to go through New York. As I said then, and I'll say it now, any government that has got enough power to come into your home and destroy your home looking for a squirrel and a raccoon. I mean, they tore these people's closets apart. They dumped dresser drawers. They went through medicine cabinets looking for a squirrel and a raccoon. All right. That's abuse of the search warrant. That really is abuse of a search warrant. They take everything out of their closets and throw it on the floor. And since they have a search warrant, they're not held liable for any damage they do. That's also in the law in all 50 states. The only way they can be held liable for something is if they steal anything of value. That, something comes up missing that wasn't part of the search warrant. Now, that's the only thing they can get in trouble for. So, there's a lot of things, and as you can tell, I'm still a little bit angry over this. Yes, the people did not have the proper paperwork filed to be able to keep the squirrel and raccoon as pets, but this government overreaches way too far. Hey, Josh. Abuse of power, just following the law. I call it abuse of power while following the law. You can search for a squirrel and a raccoon without dumping dresser drawers or dumping medicine cabinets and spilling product all over the floors, all over the carpeting. Yeah, it's abuse of authority, it's abuse of power while enforcing laws. The government should be required to show restraint when dealing with this, when dealing with the population, when dealing with its citizenry. I'll get that word out sooner or later. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So, all right, Josh. So let's have some fun here with the elections, with the presidential election. Let's have some fun with that, okay? First of all, Elon Musk. Oh, I know you're being sarcastic, Josh. I know you're being sarcastic. It's just, it irritates me when I see government overreach like that. That is not the type of government that I spent 20 years of my life supporting. Actions like that by government officials is not what I was supporting or defending with 20 years of my life. And I mean, all the way down from the lowest level government employee all the way up to the highest level. So Elon Musk posted this. States that Harris won versus ID requirement. And if you'll notice, all but two states she won. No ID required to vote. Isn't that interesting? All but two. Now, I'm not saying, and I don't think Elon was saying, that Trump didn't win any states where ID wasn't required, because he did. But when it's such a lopsided, let's see here, I need a rough count: 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 16 out of 18 states won by Kamala did not require an ID. That's a little bit on the screwball side. That really is. But that is what it is. Correlation is not causation. I agree. Fury. Because as I said, I'm sure Trump did win some states where no ID is required. But when one party, 16 out of 18 states going one way, and the one thing they all have in common, it could be a cause to take a look at something to see what's going on there. Now, there was another map out there, and I tried looking for it, and I couldn't find it this morning for 2024. I found one for 2020, but couldn't find one for 2024. And there were two maps. One if only men voted, and one if only women voted. If only women voted, Kamala would have won with like 412 electoral votes. And it was almost the opposite, complete opposite, if only men could vote, where Trump would have won with over 400. So, yeah, that was shows the difference between the genders on the voting patterns. But Trump did win. He garnered enough votes from both males and females, from whites, blacks, Hispanics, and all others in enough states. And, could you imagine, California and some, oh, by the way, guys, this is an infusion day for me. As usual, Mondays always are. So I'll be getting up and going over and swapping out syringes here. I've got, like I'm getting ready to do right now. But as I was getting ready to say there, could you imagine the uproar in California right now? California is one of those states pushing that their electoral votes will go to whoever wins the popular vote. There's several states making, because they can't get rid of the electoral college as much as they want to. So what they're pushing, what some of these states are saying, and have either written into law or trying to get written into their state constitutions, that their electoral college votes will go automatically to the winner of the popular vote. So their people will still get to vote. And what they're all basing their premise on is the fact that they believe that Republicans cannot get enough of a popular vote to make a difference. So all these states, they're saying, screw how our people vote. Our people vote. If our people vote Republican, but the popular vote goes to the Democrat, that's who's going to get our electoral vote. Well, as we can tell this year, Trump got the popular vote. Now, if those laws had been in effect, California, Washington, and Oregon, because those are 3 states that I can remember off the top of my head that actually do have these laws in effect, would have all had to give their votes to Trump and stuff, Kamala. And that would have made for an even bigger win for Trump. You're not hearing them push that this year now. They pushed it the last time Trump won. In fact, that was the last time they had a major push for it, was when Trump won. But for some reason, they're kind of remaining silent about that whole process now. Oh, by the way, the wife is out. She's off work today, being Veterans Day. So she's decided to make her 4-day weekend a clean out the garage day task for the weekend. So she's going to be running in and out of the house. And she'll be asking me silly questions on occasion. So we'll just have to put up with that. You know how these streams go. Mwah. You have fun, dear. Mm-hmm. Now, national popular vote there, Fury. So, yeah, they're talking about the national popular vote. But we didn't hear him talking about trying to do that mess this year. I wonder why. Because, could you imagine Trump having, instead of 312, having an additional 55? That'd be 367 plus whatever. That's just California, because California's got 55. Then whatever Oregon and Washington State would add to it. I think Washington, D.C. even voted for that also. But anyway, but the Democrats have had a sort of a meltdown, as we all know, over this election. And Pelosi is now blaming Biden. Now, most of us, when this Biden suddenly stepped down after his dismal appearance at the debate against Trump. Remember Jill coming out? Congratulations, Jill, you answered all the questions. That was the best thing she could say. She was congratulating him like you would a fourth grader. Or I'm not even a fourth grader, but a kindergartner. Congratulations, you answered all the questions. Then they all of a sudden, by Zoom calls, replaced Biden with Kamala. And they did that because that was the only way they could keep the massive war chest that they had. Yeah, if your electoral college is only bad when it doesn't favor them. Well, now Pelosi is blaming Harris's loss on Biden's late exit and no open Democratic primary. Well, we all made comments then. Most of us did. I know I did. That Kamala was selected, not elected. Should be the second president to, if she would have won, she would have been the second president ever sit in office that never received a primary vote. Because remember, she dropped out in 2020 before the first primary. She blew through her millions of dollars so fast and couldn't even get a primary vote out of it. And when I say second, Gerald Ford, remember, Gerald Ford was a Congress critter. And when Spiro Agnew had to resign, Nixon appointed Ford to be his vice president. And a few months later, when Nixon had to resign, Ford became president. So, to my memory, Ford never went through a primary as a contender for president or vice president. I may be wrong, but I don't think Ford ever sat through a primary. Ford's the first president never to be voted on for either president or vice president. They've sat through a presidential race. But now Pelosi is openly blaming Biden. And I mean, I think that's kind of funny about that. Remember, Pelosi also said that it was her fault. January 6th was her fault. Remember that. So that didn't turn out too well for him either. Okay. But that's not the only thing going on out there for the blame game that the Democrats have got going on. And yes, I do believe, if the Democrats had tried to have some kind of primary because if the Democrats, first of all, had been honest about Biden's mental state, he would have been 25th. Kamala would have been president. She would have then picked somebody to be her vice president. Then they could have ran a primary or not. But the Democrats, they set themselves up for this by refusing to admit that Biden had issues to start with. That what the rest of us all saw, that we saw for years, for at least 2 years. I remember I was making bank that Kamala, that they were going to 25th him in it after 27 months in office. But right about the between the 25th and 27th month, right in that 60-day window, they're going to 25th Biden. And that would put Kamala in the driver's seat for less than 2 years. That'd given her 2 years to sit, just under 2 years to be acting president. Then that would have, then they could have ran a primary if they'd wanted to, or they could have just went ahead and kept Kamala at the top of the ticket. But she would have had 2 years to fit into that role as president. And I wasn't the only one thinking that was going to happen. That they used Biden strictly to get elected to beat Trump. And then go from there to having Kamala sit in office. That would have resolved several issues for them. They would have had their first female minority, dual minority president. They would have had it. They would have had the 46th and 47th president. They would have had that. And they could have had a possibility of her actually winning this election. But because they decided to lie to the American people for 2 years, it is what it is. The rest was history. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Welcome to this train that doesn't have a set of tracks today. Because I've got a lot of things sitting here, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time discussing any one of them. Some are funny, some are a little bit more serious. All right. The next thing I want to talk about here, Mitch McConnell, one of my least favorite Congress critter. Mitch McConnell is calling, because the House or the Senate is definitely going to the Republicans. And Mitch McConnell is pushing to, instead of waiting until January when the new Congress officially takes office and hold the elections, because we're going to have new senators. There's going to be some new Republican senators. But Mitch McConnell wants to hold the election on Wednesday as to who will be the new Senate Majority Leader. And from what I'm understanding, from what I'm hearing, He wants to limit the number of people that can run to 3. John Cornyn being one of them, Rick Scott from Florida being the other one. And I'm trying to remember the name of the John Cornyn, Rick Scott, and John Thune. John Thune being the third. Now, there's a problem with that. Cornyn and Thune are anti-Trumpers. They're not never Trumpers, but neither one of them are for the Trump agenda. Neither one of them are. They don't believe in the things that Trump believes in. And therefore, he would have a hard time getting his agenda passed through the Senate. Rick Scott is much more on board with Trump's agenda. Now, we all know that Mitch McConnell has never been a fan of Trump. So this here's his chance to give Trump the middle finger, say F you, and you're not going to get your stuff done. You know, it's like, God darn it, what's his name? The House leader, Republican, before for the first 2 years. Because I remember liking him when he fought up against Obama over Obamacare. And then John Boehner stepped down, and this young guy from Wisconsin took over because of the way he did act with Obama. We thought he was a pretty strong conservative. And it was because of him we didn't get funding for the wall because he refused to do it. Turned out that he was a never Trumper. We need to have the leadership in the House and Senate to be backing Trump. So if you can hear me, and you don't live in the state of Florida. If you live in the state of Florida, all we can do is call Rubio and tell him to make sure he votes for Rick Scott, but that's pretty much going to be a given that he will. But we need to call our senators and make certain that they vote if Mitch McConnell does get his way. Because it's going to be a secret, and then top it off, it's a secret ballot. Nobody's going to know who voted for who. And that is absolutely disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting that we have gone out as Americans and voted for Trump, got him put in office. And all these guys are going to do is put into the Senate leadership people who don't believe in Trump's agenda. Now, I'm not saying they have to agree with Trump on everything, because there's things Trump has said that he wants to do on the campaign trail that I'm against. first and foremost, increasing qualified immunity for the police. But then I also believe that after a certain amount, tips, you know, tips should be taxed. I mean, like I said, I personally know a member of wait staff at a restaurant, a very upscale restaurant, that clears $60,000 to $70,000 a year in tips. Her average tip a night is at least $80. And she'll wait on six or seven tables a night. Now, she's an excellent waitress. Don't get me wrong. She's excellent. And she works, like I said, in an upscale restaurant. And and the people that tip her usually tip her 50 to 60%. She gets a lot of 50 to 50% tips. 25 to 30%, I believe, is her average. And even so, she's clearing $80. 60 to 80 bucks. So, I mean, not all wait staff is like that. Not all wait staff is earning that much money in tips. So I agree, there should be limits, on wait staff on what should and should not be taxable, but not all tips should be non-taxable. Now, they promise to make overtime non-taxable. Again, I think, some yes, some no. There should be a limit on how much it can be earned that's non-taxable. I mean, can you imagine somebody making $70,000 a year, but they're only, that's tips included, but their taxable wages would be based on $2.15 an hour or $3.15 an hour. They wouldn't be paying any taxes whatsoever. Same way with overtime. I worked two jobs for years because I couldn't get overtime at either one. So I worked two jobs. Should one of those two jobs be non-taxed? Because I'm still working 60, well, actually, I was working 70, 80 hours a week. It's just for two different employers. So should one of those two jobs be non-taxed? No. So I mean, he's made a couple of promises that I don't think are going to fly. Or they're not going to fly as some people hope they will. I'm definitely against the overtime, though. Not, all overtime not being non-taxed, unless you're going to start saying second jobs are going to be non-taxed. Because not everybody can work overtime at one job. You got to pull down a second job in order to make enough money. Let's see here. What else have I got going on? And the blame game. Now this part of the blame game is what I thought it was funny. I laughed. I seriously laughed, and I could not believe these words came out of this woman's mouth. I simply could not believe it. I couldn't find the CNN video. I'm sure it's out there. So we're having to use the Fox video. But this is a woman on CNN.
Maybe it's not so much Democrats' policies or messaging or the words that they use specifically, but there is an entire right-wing media ecosystem that doesn't exist on the left, and it does not exist in the center or mainstream, and people are getting their information in very different.
I'm going to stop her right there. And you heard everybody agreeing with her. Right-wing media is why Trump got elected. ABC doesn't exist. CNN doesn't exist. MSNBC, NBC, CBS, the New York Times, the Washington Post, LA Times, none of these have the reach of right-wing media. And what right-wing media is there out there? Not Fox News. Fox News is center left, except for their political commentary shows. And then those are more center right. Oh yeah, it's like when the Labor states the BBC has a right-wing bias. There is no right-wing media. Unless you count me. Well, yeah, I guess I can count me as right-wing media. You can count people like me on the internet. Okay. I get between Rumble and YouTube, I may get 20 views a day on a good day. But I'm reaching 20 people, according to the statistics. Then you got people, Monkey, who reaches a couple hundred people a day. Maybe 500 or 600 people between the two, Rumble and YouTube. Then you got the TikTokers. The liberal TikTokers were paid $15,000 to $20,000 per video. Kamala was paying them between $15,000 to $20,000 per video. And Sisson was putting out 2 or 3 videos a day. Then you had old Dashi putting out his videos. So Kamala was laying out some serious money every day just for TikTokers and YouTubers, left-wingers. Jolly Green Ginger, another one. They paid him to go to the DNC convention. He's the one that got into J.D. Vance's face. In the causeway there and really made us think about it. But all these people, everybody on the CNN, they're agreeing that's a vast right-wing media that the left couldn't counteract. Shows like The View don't matter. But me and people like me and the older millennial and Thelma and, people who don't get paid because RNC, the Republican Party, does not pay social media creators. The social media creators aren't paid by the Republican Party. You're right, Fury. You have, when is FEC going to go after CNN for having Kamala on the weekend before the election? Her minute and 30 seconds that they gave her. FEC's not going to do anything. You're not going to see the Department of Justice in any of the states, let alone New York. You're going to see Letitia James out of New York bring charges against Saturday Night Live for campaign violations. Arrest Lorne Michaels, arrest all the actors, all the comedians that were involved, anybody who was involved with Kamala on that show. Letitia ain't going to do that. The Department of Justice isn't going to go after her. They're not going to put anybody in jail like they put in a guy for a meme that he wrote 6 years earlier about Democrats voting on Thursday instead of Tuesday. Some stupid nonsense like that. Good morning, Ramen.
Good morning. How are you? Hello, Fury and Mike and Joshua and everybody here.
Boy, your mic sounds amazing this morning. Did you get a new one?
No, I'm just in a good mood. How was your weekend?
My weekend was my weekend. I worked Saturday night. I slept Sunday until noon. Then grandson came over Sunday afternoon, and him and I roughhoused around and played and had a good time. And that was my weekend.
That sounds like a good weekend.
It was. Anytime I can see my grandson. Yay. And the baby and the youngest grandson, he actually let me, I saw him for a few minutes, and he actually let me touch him without squalling. So, he's
are we watching more libtard tears?
Oh, we're just, this train has no tracks today. We're just all over the place.
Those are my favorite streams.
So, but let's get back to these people here blaming the vast right-wing media for Trump's win.
The right-wing media. Get out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, well, I'll start it from the beginning so you can hear it.
Yay! Start the whole stream from the beginning. I feel like I missed everything.
Democrats' policies or messaging or the words that they use specifically, but there is an entire right-wing media ecosystem that doesn't exist on the left.
Oh my God! The media saying this,
and people are getting their information in very different ways now.
Trump. They're all yes.
The woman actually
they rewrote
claimed.
So much history. I heard it. I was sitting right here. I heard it, baby. Oh my God, this is crazy. Thank you. Hey, stop. Out. Stop. I love you, but stop. I be quiet. Be quiet. He's helping. Yeah, it's one of those days where everybody wants to help, but everybody also wants to yell while they're helping.
But the woman
got that.
actually stood there and
Yeah, she
claimed
said that shit.
that the
Oh my God.
the left does not have a left-wing media base.
Later. You just got off the computer. It's my turn now.
Oh,
Oh my God. Let me calm my ghetto mouth down before I start here.
when I heard that, I literally started laughing so hard
See, you're better than I am. If you laugh, I yell.
that I started coughing.
No, I get mad. I start yelling. And I start calling people. And then I laugh because there's always somebody in their house crying. Oh my God.
Hey, Neil, good morning.
They have rewritten fucking history and they got the balls to sit there and say that crap. Oh my God, lying about the economy under Trump. And Trump had like 1.4% inflation when he took office. And then it was like, what, 9%, 14% high when Biden left. And, you know, the media is here lying, claiming Trump ruined the economy and all this crazy shit. And now they're saying they painted Kamala and they weren't supportive enough of Kamala. Are you friggin' crazy?
Yep.
I always wonder about drugs when I hear this shit. I'm like, I mean, we know all of Congress is on like Alzheimer's medication and COVID stuff and ivermectin and all the stuff we're not allowed to have. But I have to wonder if the media is on it because they just sound upright crazy. They're living in a fantasy land or something.
Okay, you must have moved your fan.
Yeah, I moved myself. Actually, I'm reaching for something. I'm trying to have coffee.
Oh my
okay. God. Yeah. Oh, come in.
But now this next story, and you know, it pissed me off.
Watch this off. Please bring it back. Yeah.
This
What story?
This next story actually pissed me off.
Of course it did, because you're normal. Now tell me what it is.
Pentagon officials discussing how to respond if Trump issues controversial orders.
Controversial orders like, let's go ahead and fix all these broken laws by putting
Please fix your fan. Please fix your fan.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on. I'm here, and my back is to the fan. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Pentagon officials are holding informal discussions about how the Department of Defense would respond if Donald Trump issues orders to deploy active duty troops domestically and fires large swaths of political staffers.
Uh-oh. Are they Trump supporters that they fired? I'm betting they are.
No, if Trump started firing people.
He might need to. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to turn this on.
Yes, Trump does need to fire people.
He needs, you know what? He should pull, like, what's that guy's name? Elon. He needs to pull an Elon and just start firing all the extras he has. He has a lot of extras on that now. Didn't they expand a lot of positions when they went in office and hired a bunch of their buddies and stuff?
So Trump has suggested he'd be open to using active duty forces for domestic law enforcement and mass deportations. And as indicated, he wants to stack the federal government with loyalists and to clean out corrupt actors in the U.S. national security establishment. Remember, and the story's right here, General Mark Milley, who took steps to limit Trump's ability to use nuclear weapons when he was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. All right, General Milley actually took steps.
Aunt Millie.
Yeah. I mean, to take Trump out of the chain of command, to actively disobey direct orders.
Dude, this is crazy, yo.
So, now Milley's retired, thank God. But he should have been court-martialed when this came out. He should have been court-martialed and sent to, in my opinion, sent to Leavenworth.
Yeah.
He should have been stripped of all rank, all pay and allowances, and sent to Leavenworth.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Go. Go do what I said, please. His screaming will be your proof of life in a minute because I've had enough.
Right.
It's too early for this kind of this subordination that we got going on here. I will not tolerate it.
Officials are now gaming out various scenarios as they prepare for an overhaul of the Pentagon. We're all preparing and planning for worst case scenario, but the reality is we don't know how this is going to play out.
We could have planned that out months ago. Y'all knew he was going to take office. You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
You can't tell you what?
That they didn't know, because everybody, it's, look at our fucking economy, look at our unemployment rate, look at everything, look at our borders. You can't tell me they didn't know he wasn't going to be voted in. Come on.
See, Trump's election has also raised questions inside the Pentagon about what would happen if the president issued an unlawful order, particularly if his political appointees inside the Pentagon don't push back.
Oh, you mean an unlawful order, like step down and just let anybody come in that wants to?
Right. Or even better, issue an unlawful order to kill an American citizen overseas.
Unless they weren't spying or a double agent, unless they weren't that, why would you do that?
Obama did it. Obama did it. Ordered a drone strike on a American citizen overseas. Now, I personally think the man should have been captured, brought back to the States, given a trial, and then put before a firing squad.
They don't do firing squads anymore, do they?
Yeah, they do.
I thought those were.
But that's my personal opinion. The man should have been tried, convicted, and put in front of a firing squad. So I mean, the fact that he died isn't what bothered me. It's the fact that Obama ordered a drone strike on him, and the man, as an American citizen, was not availed to his rights as an American citizen. I don't care how big of a scumball you are. If you're an American citizen, you have a right to a trial.
Yep.
Even if the outcome of that trial is going to be you're guilty, because the proof is there that you did it. We don't allow the police. They catch you mid-stroke on a rape. We don't allow the police just shoot you in the back and kill you.
That should be allowed.
Regardless of the fact whether we catch you with your
no, but you should. It should be allowed though. It should be. You know what? A lot of men have started killing these girls when rather than just let them walk away and go get help. Well, they'll kill them because they're identifiable.
But Raman, the point is the cops have to at least attempt to arrest the guy. They can't just walk up and put a bullet in his head.
You know what? See, that's why I couldn't be a cop, because I'd be like, yeah, I told him stop, and I saw him reaching for something. I didn't know what it was. I told him stop and let me see his hands, and I had to do it. I'm not a nice person.
Yep. It's unclear at this point who Trump will choose to lead the Pentagon, though officials believe Trump and his team will try to avoid the kind of hostile relationship he had with the military during his last admin. What bothers me here is that the people in the DOD, civilian and military leadership inside of the DOD, are already making plans to thwart any orders that Trump gives.
Be quiet, please.
That they don't like.
Stop, please.
If you don't they don't like the orders.
Gotta do them anyway. That's your job.
They're planning on thwarting them. They're putting plans in place before the man's even sworn in.
So and you know they're planning to pick and choose what they'll do for their job.
Right. And the same things happen in the State Department. The same thing is happening over in the Justice Department. The same thing is happening over at the FBI. The same thing is happening in every one of these little alphabet agencies. That they're all making plans on how they're going to thwart Trump and anything that he tells them to do. I mean, and all we got to do is look at his last term. They had people actually making videos bragging about how, we were ordered to do this, and we're just taking our time. We're going to implement it, but instead of implementing it in 30 days, we're going to take 6 months or a year to do it.
Oh.
They've already, so I don't expect. So this is where Elon Musk, with his plan, or where he has said that he wants to go in and what was the name? It was DOG, I believe. But it was going to go in and get rid of all the duplicate positions. If that position didn't have an honest need, he was going to get rid of it. And I'd love this, that would trim the government bureaucracy by at least 25 to 30%.
Yeah.
And Gaspeth insurrection, yeah.
What, you don't think Milley is capable of doing that by himself?
Well, Milley's retired. He's gone. So he's no longer, Milley's no longer a factor. And so that's, but it's the fact that these agencies are being bold about it. And that somebody in the Department of Defense was so bold about their plans on doing this and how they believe that they're going to have the people on their side and praise them for doing it. That they're coming out and bragging about it within days of Trump being elected. He's not even been sworn in yet. And they're already bragging about how they are going to not follow his orders if they believe his orders are wrong.
I bet they're all openly talking all that good shit while nobody's catching them.
It's time like this. I wish my brother-in-law still worked there at the Pentagon, because I'd be on the phone with him trying to, asking him what he's hearing. Good. Because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law both worked at the Pentagon.
Okay.
And I really wish they were both still there. I could, be getting the inside scoop of some of this stuff that's being said. But and like I said, I can imagine the State Department, because the State Department's filled with nothing but liberals anyway.
That's true.
There's very few conservatives over there at the State Department. They've all been pushed out.
Hold on, I gotta turn. There we go. I set it all to Google answering.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's great. I don't have to talk to nobody.
You actually can set your phone up to have Google answer it?
Yeah. It's great also because people usually hang up before it finishes reading the message. So they can't even leave me a message. It's great. I love it. I don't have to listen to their stupid answering machine messages. I don't have to do jack.
Robocalls are out of the question, huh?
They're illegal anyway. I don't want to break the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen, sir. I ain't going back to jail. All right, so.
But, and of the agencies here that you would think would have an idea what was going to happen, FBI brass stunned and shell-shocked over the Trump election. This is off the Washington Times. The brass at the 7th floor at the FBI headquarters have been in a daze and wary of house cleaning since Trump was reelected. Washington Times learns through several anonymous bureau sources that senior agency executives were stunned and shell-shocked by Trump's victory.
I don't see how.
Do you know the fit test? How they let standards slack on the fit test? This is their physical fitness requirements. Everybody's going to have a real problem when they're running for the door. I mean, yeah,
they let it slack for trans men specifically, or
they let it slack for everybody because you can't expect women to meet the same physical requirements as men, but because you're lowering the standards so that the women can pass them, you also have to lower the standards for men to pass them.
Can't be sexist.
Right. FBI Director Christopher Wray and Deputy Director Paul Abbott have little chance of remaining in the Bureau by the time Trump is inaugurated. They recall Trump firing Comey 5 months after taking the oath in 2017. It's a countdown for Wray because people here don't think he'll stay to get fired after what Trump did to Comey. Trump will say, yeah, fire his ass. Don't let him take the plane home. Comey learned about his termination while flying to California on the Bureau's airplane.
It'll be part of his retirement package. He'll be able to buy a ticket. Damn.
Yep. Sources say others on the 7th floor of the FBI are so concerned about their jobs that they are likely to flood Washington's private security market. Most of the sources says no one's job at the FBI at GS-14 or higher is safe. They expect Trump to smash the place to pieces when he gets in, and it's going to be a bloodbath. I have friends still at the Bureau telling me no less than 50 senior executives are scrambling to retire as soon as possible. Let's remember what this FBI, the FBI, how they treated Trump over the past 10 years, the past decade. They illegally wiretapped him. They lied on information to get FISA warrants.
Yeah.
Then when they got caught, they didn't they gave a slap on the wrist to the lawyers who lied on the FISA warrants.
Yeah, weren't they begging to not get? Oh wait, I think that was the one in the trial in New York. They were begging not to get
the lawyers, right?
Sanctions or whatever.
That were
the statute of limitations on some of the stuff they accused him of, just so they could take him to trial.
Yep. Just that was, and just like they made up that special law for Gene Kelly, Gene Kelly, a special law that was only going to be in place for 1 year, so Gene Kelly could get a civil action against Trump for sexual harassment or sexual abuse or some nonsense.
Bullshit.
Right.
Oh my God. It sounds so ridiculous.
All right. The FBI had a tense history since 2016 under Comey. The agency lost Crossfire Hurricane investigation of Trump's campaign, alleged links to Russia. You mean the alleged links that was created by an agent hired by Hillary Clinton?
I'm more interested in Ashley's diary than anyone's fake ass Russian accusations.
Yeah.
Because a lot of states are raising the statute of limitations so that it's well after someone's 18. You can't just say, oh, he's 18 now, it's okay, nothing wrong. So I think Biden needs to be careful and watch out himself. Because if she really starts talking.
And nobody in the Hillary campaign got in any kind of trouble over the leaks that led to Crossfire Hurricane. Oh no, nobody there got in any kind of legal trouble for election interference or anything. Subsequent government watchdog investigation found FBI officials made numerous errors or omissions in secret warrant applications for surveillance. Errors or omissions. How about outright lies?
That sounds about right.
Okay. And then more recently, the Times reported about an FBI whistleblower's disclosure to Congress that Comey launched an off-the-books undercover criminal investigation against Trump in 2015. The FBI, now again, I'm not saying every member of the FBI is a crooked SOB.
But it's like they decide to be that when they take the job.
I'm going to say it's the leadership. I would say 70% of the leadership is crooked as hell. Mm-hmm. They've gotten so and this is the problem with law enforcement. Most people in the judicial branch, being law enforcement to judges, all the way up and down, people who work for CPS, usually women, but people who work for CPS, they've gotten so used to people being afraid of them and jumping.
Yeah, well, they have a lot
to every snap of their fingers.
And they can lie, and you can't say otherwise. It's just your word against theirs. You know who's going to win. They'll walk into your home and demand to know if there's cameras running and tell you to turn them off. They tried that with me one time. I'm like, no, I like filming my dwelling. If you don't want to be filmed, you need to leave. They didn't like that, and they went in the hallway to talk to me, and then demanded to talk to my kids. I'm like, okay, I'll just be right here. And they're like, no. We can't have you intimidating them or influencing. All right, I'll stand behind them and then we can talk. You're not going to turn the camera off. Nope, these are my kids. I'm recording my children.
That's right.
All of a sudden, they lost interest in talking to my kids.
I'll bet they did.
They really did. They asked them like 2 questions, and my kids, being autistic, didn't really know how to answer them very well, and they just dropped it. They're like, okay, we're done here today. We'll let you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, you got my number. Bye.
I really don't want cameras inside of my house.
I don't either, but I have my phone ready to go at all times.
For the simple fact that I like to walk around the house in my underwear on occasion, and I really
problematic.
And I really don't need those kind of videos being out there in the world, because anybody can tap into anybody's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's true. They got those light bulbs now that do that, and there's instructions on how to get into those.
So I've got no interest in having that around my house.
I mean, God bless my kids, but they are savages. And every stream, when I first started streaming 10, 15 years ago, every stream would start with, "Where's your pants?" It could have been to either one of you. Never know till you hear the voice yelling back. It usually would be my daughter. "You're ruining my life." Yes, at 10, I'm ruining her life by demanding she wear clothes. Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean,
hello, Princess.
I've got no interest in inside my house being available on the internet. And since
Nice.
most cameras require you to have them hooked up to the Wi-Fi in order for them to work, unless you want to embed wiring everywhere and hardwire them to something. That's the outside of my house is fine, and I've got several cell phones sitting around charged up that I can record on at a given moment. Not just my phone that I make phone calls on, but I've got other old cell phones sitting around charged up, ready to roll if I need it. Always keep an old cell phone.
My daughter claims all my old cell phones every time. Even before I'm done using them, she'll start playing. God damn it.
Because you
Mom, you need a new
can,
phone.
because you can dump that, you can delete everything off and have all that room for recording audio and video. So, all right. So
I
what's
went into
next?
her purse and she had like 5 cell phones one day. I'm like, what? And they were all my old ones.
Okay, so that's the FBI story. This story made me happy. This made me happy. See, Trump's already announced a few places or people he's going to appoint.
Nice.
Trump announces Tom Homan, his former acting ICE director, will be the administration's border czar. Now, you're going to be sitting there wondering, who in the hell is Tom Homan? Right? This is Tom Homan.
The official recommendation. There were 3 different options presented. The third included the option for family separation. This initiative would pursue prosecution of all amenable adults, including those presenting with a family unit. Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy.
I am not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo.
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Homan, with
family.
all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The
That's
Attorney
right.
General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
That is Tom Homan. Okay, and this is Tom Homan.
I would hate to be one of his kids, but as a citizen, I like him.
On to Acting Chairman Jay Paul and your comment about the Trump administration moving money around for more detention beds. I'd like to remind you, under the Obama administration, we did that most of the years he was president. We moved money around DHS. It's called reprogramming. We did that under the Obama administration. I don't remember any hearings on that. And also, I'd like to remind you that under the Obama administration, I mean, you're quick to point out the cages were built under Obama administration. I was there. Family detention, we had 100 family beds under Obama administration. We built 3,000 more. So when there was a surge in FY14 and FY15 on border, Congress was quick to give all the money we needed to build detention facilities, get transportation contracts. We reprogrammed money out of the majority of the years she was president.
Remember, Obama started the kids in cages.
Under the Obama administration, FY12, we removed 409,000 people, half of what was removed last year. There was no hearings on that.
Kids in cages.
So this is about transparency. Let's be factual about it.
The time of the gentleman has expired. Since you did address some comments at me, I'll just say that I didn't like it under the Obama administration either. In fact,
But be honest with the American people. You can't point out faults in the Trump administration when it happened under the Obama administration. That's dishonesty. It's pathetic and it's sad.
Mr. Holman, I control the time and I am the chairwoman of the committee. Thank you for respecting that. I didn't like it under the Obama administration, and I'll remind you, Mr. Holman, that you also testified before Congress in support of the Obama's priorities enforcement program before the Senate Judiciary Committee on May 19th, 2016, which had a very different approach.
Well, can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
No.
Of course
you may
not.
With
And I want to give you some time.
That is Mr. Holman. That is the man that Trump has announced is going to be his border czar.
Which one, Tom?
Yeah.
I like him. Okay.
He is a no-nonsense character. He really and truly is. I am pleased to announce that the former ICE director and stalwart on border control, Tom Homan, will be joining the Trump administration in charge of our nation's border, including but not limited to the southern border, the northern border, all maritime and aviation security. There's nobody better at policing and controlling our borders, and that Homan will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin.
You know what? I say just roll the dice and just throw them wherever it lands. Why?
Oh, I could see it. Somebody from Kenya ending up in Arab Emirates. No, Arab Emirates, or ending up
They
being
would never
sent,
get in.
being sent back. Well, we rolled the dice, and you are going to China.
Oh my God. Imagine sending them to Russian and they got weed in their backpack or something. Dang. Well, that's just what happens sometimes.
Yes.
That was a chance you took. I mean, you're trying to get in here and it's not legal here too in most places. So there we go.
In a recent interview on CBS 60 Minutes, Holman argued that families could be deported together. And when asked about Trump's pledge to carry out mass deportations immediately upon entering office, he also argued the effort would be targeted, though exact plans for how it would be carried out, how much it would cost remain to be seen. And see, Holman's also, if I remember correctly, Holman was also the one that when he was asked about, if they're married, what about, the person you're wanting to deport is married to an American citizen and they have children?
They
Are you
should
sure?
already have an application in then.
Okay, what are you going to do then? Are you going to deport the whole family? She goes, no, we're going to deport them. The others can go and live with them in Mexico or wherever or not. It's their choice.
Yeah.
I'm not going. They're not going to deport American citizens, but if they want to be with their spouse that's being deported, then they're going to have a choice of packing up and moving out of the country. But okay, dear, you leaving?
I'm leaving.
All right.
Bye.
Love ya.
I love you too.
Carefully.
Drive. Raman's telling you to drive careful.
I'll drive careful. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo. See someone I could have a drink with, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I won't bring her home all wobbly.
As long as it's margaritas. She is a margarita gal. She loves her margaritas.
Don't worry, I'll bring her around to the way of Sam's hard lemonade.
Oh, okay. And then let's see. Holman says, I've got a message for the millions of illegals that Joe Biden has released into our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. You're damned right. I love Holman now, and I still say to this day, all right, and I will say it every day, Trump is not going to do enough. The Republican Party is not going to allow Trump to do enough to deport. All right, if we really and truly wanted to get the illegals out of our country, first thing we would do is say, all right, illegals, your children. And first of all, we would say any child born in the United States of illegals or foreign nationals who are not U.S. citizens will not be U.S. citizens. Any child, in order for a child to be born and automatically granted citizenship, at least one of their parents has to be a U.S. citizen. All right. Restrict public education to U.S. citizens. You're not a U.S. citizen, you can't attend our schools. We're not going to fund the children of illegals coming to U.S. schools. Restrict Medicare, Medicaid, and all these other programs. All right. If you're an illegal and you have a heart attack, okay, fine. We'll treat you and then deport you. You break an arm or a leg, the hospital will set it. They'll treat you, put you in a cast, give you a half a bottle of pain pills, and send you back across the border.
Get the hell out.
All right.
Here's your hat. What's your hurry?
Public housing. Sorry, no public housing. No public housing for illegals. Oh, you're married to an illegal? Sorry, he can't stay here.
That's right.
In public housing.
If he can't get approved on his home, there's no way you should get him approved. I'm sorry.
I don't care if you're married to him or not. An illegal should not be allowed to live in public housing. All right. Welfare or any other kind of state, taxpayer supplied sustenance. Sorry, illegals, you don't get a damn dime of taxpayer money beyond what a bologna sandwich and a plane ticket or train ticket across the border costs, with the cheapest transportation to the border. %100% have the walls built, 2 walls, not just one. 2 walls, and then having the Coast Guard patrolling the Rio Grande navigable waterways. The Coast Guard is allowed to patrol it. The Border Patrol, all of these troops that they've got doing this 100-mile radius garbage, all them people, Border Patrol people at these, doing these 100, they got the checkpoints set up and everybody has to stop and declare their citizenship and whatever, show their IDs. Half of those people get sent to the borders, and their job is to constantly patrol between the 2 walls. And where you can't physically get a vehicle or a horse, then you will be doing it by drone. Watching that border. And immediately having helicopters available to take Border Patrol to wherever they are needed to capture people attempting to illegally cross the border. And then, of course, anytime somebody's caught in the country illegally, all right, bologna sandwich and sent to the closest and sent to the border, the closest border to their home country. You do know that on the southern side of the border are hundreds of thousands of IDs and passports thrown away before they cross the border into the United States so that they could have whatever identity that they wanted to create for themselves. Even so much as changing their country of origin. I want to make life so damn hard on illegals that they self-deport. If you can't get housing, if you can't get a job, if you can't
get charity,
get charities, government subsidies, if you can't even get medical attention,
how can you live somewhere?
then you're on your way to the closest border. You're on your way back home. Now, legal immigration, if we are ever going to revamp our rules for legal immigration, it can only be done after the illegal immigration problem has been solved.
Yep.
We have to solve the illegal immigration problem first, and then look at the legal immigration and see if there's any issues there that need to actually be looked at and revamped. Should it take 10 years to get to become able to legally immigrate into the United States?
You want to live here 20, 30 years? Why not? It took my ex 10 years.
You know, I can understand why people think that that's a bit of a long time. It shouldn't, should it actually take 10 years to be able to legally immigrate into the United States? Again, it depends on where you're from, what kind of background checks can be performed on you. If you're from a country that has no way of performing background checks on you,
oh, that's a problem.
Then now we got an issue. But if you're from a country that, yes, there is a competent way of performing background checks and know for certain whether or not you have a criminal history, then that's a different issue.
My ex has 2 different birth certificates with 2 different dates, one from his country of birth and one from here.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, see, that should be as
obstacle right there.
That should be as illegal as all get out.
Yeah, I got real mad because I had a really hard time deciding what day to get his fucking birthday cake because I didn't know what day he claimed for himself because I never saw his driver's license. That was the date I was gonna pick. I'm like, whatever date you use is what I'll use. And then he hit his wallet and wouldn't let me see his driver's license. So it was like a guessing game every fucking year, man. That got tired real fast.
Okay, so something is going. Okay, let's see here. What's this? Oh. Okay, I can lose that video. What video is this? I can lose that video now. All right. Now, this is something here. This stream actually is going to go more than 2 hours today.
You think so?
Oh, I know so.
Oh, it's already
I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 more tabs I want to talk about.
I'm not not gonna lie, I didn't intend to join so late, but I had to do some laundry before I got in here.
Right.
Otherwise, I feel guilty for just sitting my ass here for 2 hours. So, yeah, I'm not gonna get up in the morning. The first thing I do is sit my ass in front of the computer with nothing accomplished. So, yeah, I got my next load laid out. I got one in the machine and the other ready to go.
Trump's false claims about federal response to hurricanes. This is from the New York Times.
Oh, God.
The former President Trump falsely accused the Biden administration of spending disaster funding on migrants, neglecting areas that had voted for Republicans, and ignoring a call from Republican governors. All right, that was October 4th.
Okay.
FEMA fires employee for telling Milton relief workers to skip homes with Trump signs. The agency said it was investigating the incident in the aftermath of a Category 3 hurricane that hit Florida in October. FEMA woman who told workers to avoid Florida homes with Trump signs is fired. A FEMA agency supervisor who told her subordinates to skip Florida homes with Trump signs in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton has been fired. Marnie Washington, 38, told workers in a group chat to avoid homes advertising Trump as they worked around the town of Lake Placid in late October and early November.
There needs to be charges filed against them for that shit.
Her edict prompted workers to avoid at least 20 homes with signage indicating their support for President-elect, leaving residents to fend for themselves without any federal aid. Not only her, but the damn employees that followed her directions should be fired and brought up on charges.
Yeah.
The damn people that followed her directives knew that those directives were wrong. And they followed them anyway. Amid the outrage at the Nation's Emergency Department for the apparent discrimination, FEMA administration Deanne Griswold now Saturday that Washington has been fired from her position. Well, look at her. This is Miss Washington. This is clear violation of FEMA's core values and principles to help people regardless of their political affiliation.
Right?
She called Washington's actions reprehensible. Now, you know this woman's a Democrat to be doing something like that. She's a Democrat activist.
She's in charge.
Here is the message. Implement best practices. Not one goes anywhere alone. Avoid homes advertising Trump. Practice de-escalation and preventative measures. Communicate and follow the rules. Bring a towel with you tomorrow in the field. Frequent breaks and drink water. Avoid high salt diets and coffee. Sorry, man, I can't avoid coffee. Coconut water is a fast way to replenish your electrolytes. That is the text message she sent out. Avoid homes advertising Trump.
Wow.
I want to be clear to all my employees, the American people, this type of behavior and action will not be tolerated at FEMA. We'll hold these people accountable.
Yeah, no, that never. No, sweetheart.
She not only should be fired.
Change the water, please. I'm sorry.
She not only should be fired, she should have been placed under arrest.
Mm-hmm.
She should. There has got to be a law on the books somewhere that made this a criminal action.
Doesn't it sound like a criminal action?
It sure as hell does. discrimination of some sort. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if that had been a white woman
Oh, this would
telling people to avoid homes that looked as if they were black?
She would be testifying from the jail.
Exactly. According to the Daily Wire, the employees who followed Washington's orders were part of a team, part of a Department of Homeland Security team. Department of Homeland Security team that was made up of volunteers from other agencies. The people who followed those orders came from, were part of Department of Homeland Security. This is just absolutely unbelievable. Images obtained from the outlet system used to document to what homes they visited were being left that said Trump sign. All right. Images also obtained from the outlet of the system used to document what homes they visited showed notes being left that said Trump sign, no contact per leadership. But the Trump-related remarks were reportedly deleted from the group chat a few days after she posted them. Trump sign, no contact per leadership. Did you make contact? No. What was the outcome? Not able to access property. Notes. Trump sign, no contact per leadership. Absolutely disgusting. Representative Paula Luna is demanding answers. Governor DeSantis has formed a special team to go after this woman. Now, I don't have it here. I wish I did. I don't have it here. But somebody did a deep dive on her. And she's got a LinkedIn account with a different last name. So I don't know if Washington is her married name or if that's her maiden name that she goes by, but her LinkedIn account's got her married name.
Okay, that was an attorney I called Friday. That's fine.
Oh.
Call me back.
Is everything okay?
Mostly.
All right, we'll talk later. But yes,
did you put the water in the machine? Yeah. Okay, good girl. Go play.
This woman and everybody that followed her directives should have been fired.
Absolutely. Well,
you know damn well them people knew those orders were illegal.
Yeah, but your boss is directly telling you to do it. I mean,
I would ignore those bosses and dare her to fire me. I would dare her to fire me for ignoring those directives.
I would post it on social media before I do anything. But then again, I'm a petty bitch, so there's no taking the high road for me.
Oh, you're right. I would probably show me going up to, record me going up to those homes, showing the Trump sign, and then having a split screen her directives not to do this and what I'm doing, and me talking to the people. Yeah. There, and I would dare her to take action against me. That would be a lawsuit so damn fast it would make her head spin. All right, now you ready to do some laughter?
Always. That's my life.
Okay.
That's why I watch Thanksgiving every year. That's a family film. That's a family horror film.
Okay, and I've got to before I start this next one, let me go ahead and change out syringes here. Put my last syringe. I started really early this morning on my infusion since the wife was staying home.
Oh.
So I was able to get my shower really early today and start my infusion. I was actually on my second syringe before even started the stream today.
Look at us doing all our shit early.
And now I'm getting ready to put in my last syringe. Yay. 5 syringes done by 11:30. This is the earliest I think I've ever gotten them done, because it usually takes me until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon to do my infusion. But I started like at 6:30 this morning. So I have no idea where the wife ran off to. Unless she's taking stuff out and donating them out somewhere. She's been running stuff to Habitat for Humanity and Catholic Charities and all over the place for the past couple of days. So, all right. Ever since Trump, remember all the people who said, if Trump's elected, we're leaving the country.
Yeah, that was a lot of people. So who's signing up to leave first?
A lot of, and I haven't heard of any one of the movie stars that made that claim do it yet.
No.
I haven't seen any of the actors or actresses who said they were going to do.
Really surprised.
Now that the wife's gone, I can go ahead and shut the air conditioner off. She likes it too damn cold in the house. Okay. Thank you, Libs of TikTok.
Oh, you gotta love Libs of TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Now.
You can put that back in now.
And then there's this guy.
They would come, we'd be standing
Plug it back in.
With a future in our hands.
Shut this volume off. He's not saying where he's going, only goodbye America forever.
Who is that?
No idea. Just some youngin'.
Oh God, some weirdo. Okay.
Yep. Now, Trudeau gave a little press conference the other day, and as part of it, they asked him some questions, And, unfortunately, I couldn't find the video this morning. I thought I had it bookmarked, but I didn't. So I went looking for it. Trudeau put out a warning that Canada has a very strict immigration policy. And not everybody who wants to immigrate into Canada will be able to, because they have to prove that they're going to be an asset to Canada's culture. They can't move there just because they want to move there, but they have to be able to be an asset to the country. They've got to bring something of that Canada needs. And people who overstayed their visas, they are quite strict on sending, the punishment is quite severe for overstaying the Canadian visa. And if you're on a tourist visa and you're caught working, your visa is immediately canceled and you're deported and you can't come back to Canada for 10 years.
Who thinks any of this is actually going to be enforced?
Oh, I believe it. I believe that it is, that Canada, like Australia, enforces their borders. Canada's already fed up with the illegal immigration problems they have. They don't want Americans coming up and adding to it. You see, people aren't just leaving the country because they're upset about the board, about Trump's election.
Okay.
They're not just leaving the country. Women are shaving their heads.
What?
This woman is having her head shaved because she disagrees with Trump being elected. She is a Kamala supporter, and she is joining the 4B movement.
Oh, 4B, nobody cares. Sorry.
Remember I talked about the 4B movement the other day?
You can see yourself?
Yeah, a little bit in the mirror.
No sex, no men, no children.
And nothing of value lost. I wouldn't want one of their kids. Ugh. And there goes the Monday morning fight. There we go.
Oh, some women look good bald.
Some do.
Okay. I'm thinking back to the Star Trek Voyager movie.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I seem like I can count on one hand the number of Star Trek movies I've seen. Wrath of Khan and what's the Majiggy? The one after that, Star Trek 3.
It feels cool already.
Air conditioning.
Yeah.
You dumb puta.
Gotta kill the volume. But you never saw the Voyager movie? I think.
Voyager? No. I didn't see
No.
that crap. I don't watch the new TV shows either. I saw a little bit of Next Generation. And
Here we go.
something else, and that was it.
You
That
never
was the
saw?
first movie, wasn't it?
I think it was.
I didn't see the first one.
But I mean, she looks good bald.
Uh,
Not necessarily that thing in her neck, but anyway. This woman, I don't know. She's going to carry it off.
how does she think shaving her head's gonna change politics? It ain't.
It's
Nobody
going to make her.
cares.
It's going to make her less. And see, this is something these women are they're saying, well, it's going to make us less attractive to men because we don't look as good without any hair. We don't have that luxurious hair that men like.
No.
Okay.
So all she's accomplished is making herself look like a stupid tantrum throwing crybaby who is completely irrational and unreasonable and given to hysteria and not actually someone you can have a conversation with.
And then there's this woman. See, it wasn't just one, but there's multiple women out there having their heads shaved.
Why is she making faces like he's hurting her or something? She wanted this. She needs to like sit still and let him finish. I'm sure he's got better shit to do than groom her. I mean, bad choice of words, whatever.
Yeah. This is her boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever.
I'm surprised she still has one after that.
You know, she's thinking she's all sexy.
No.
The problem is here with these women that are doing this. They're neglecting to remember the fact that there are women out there who have lost their hair due to alopecia,
Cancer treatments and
chemo treatment,
yeah.
and the message that they're putting out there is that women without hair can't be sexy.
Yeah, that's a shitty thing to do.
And you've really got to do something about that fan, Ramen.
It is not even near me now. I am so sorry, but it's not near me.
Okay. But
I lifted my mic over my head.
Oh, okay. Well, now it's better. But
Whatever it works.
But you know, they're really insulting these women who've lost their hair, and because of alopecia, because of chemo treatments, because of other skin diseases or whatever. And they're saying that they can't be sexy without their hair. And
That is so misogynistic, man.
And that talk about coming from a point of privilege.
Oh yeah.
Now, all I can say is I think these women are stupid.
Thank you.
That's all. And, there's a difference between doing something stupid. God knows I've done stupid things in my life.
Well, we all have. I mean, you can't grow up without having at least done one stupid thing.
But I don't consider myself being stupid. But most of my stupid decisions have been impromptu decisions made without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. No planning involved. I just did it. Impromptu actions. These women actually made plans.
Plans for
to
what?
get their
Not having a boyfriend?
to get their hair cut off.
That's the stupidest thing ever. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have shaved my head, not bald, but I've shaved it pretty damn short. But then I dye it real cute, and I do cute things with it. My hair's curlier when it's shorter anyway, so I look cute with it. I pull that off.
That was a motion picture. Oh yeah, okay. But yeah, they've got this whole thing of now let's all wear blue wristbands. Okay, that's to show that they're standing with Kalama.
Kamala.
All right, Kamala. Now see, one guy, he had a smart one. All right, and it suited him and women actually fell for this. Okay.
Fell for what?
He said, post pictures of your bare feet showing that you're standing with Kamala.
Oh, that was somebody with a foot fetish trying to get free foot pics.
Hundreds of women posted pictures of their feet before it came out that, wait a minute.
Foot weirdo? Yeah.
Yeah, that he was a foot weirdo. This guy got hundreds of pictures of women's feet.
That must have lasted him for months.
Oh, no, this just happened in the past week. Since the election.
He's got enough to tide him over for a couple of months now.
He's sitting there now with hundreds of foot pics that women willingly posted to the internet for him to show that
there's a website for famous people foot pics that I don't remember the URL, but hey, whatever, man.
I'm sorry.
I used to have very cute feet.
I don't care to see people. Feet are for one thing and one thing only. Getting me from point A to point B. Okay. I mean, I trim my toenails.
Me too. I do my nail polish.
And that's about it. My right foot, because of issues, I keep lotion on my right foot and on my heels. I'm one of these people that get cracked heels, so I gotta keep.
There's something in Pakistan lotion. They call crack cream. It's literally called crack cream, and all the girls put on their feet.
I keep lotion on my feet, on my heels, because my heels crack. My mom's heels cracked. We used to have to sit on the couch and rub sandpaper across her heels.
Oh.
To smooth them out for her. That was a Saturday night job.
Oh.
So, but anyway. Okay, do I want that one now? Now let's keep on election here. This here's a throwback video.
I'm okay with that. Let's go.
This is a throwback to just prior to the election. Old Bill Maher. This did not age well.
Trump was only president. They seem to have completely have amnesia about what that was like.
Give us a few weeks. You never know. We still don't know if we're going to repeat that mistake.
Oh, we're not. I already put my marker down.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No.
Then it's a counterexample.
No, I'm not even worried about it.
Okay.
You're not even worried about it?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah. No. He's definitely going to lose.
Oh.
You just feel it. No, I said it weeks ago. Now the polls are, but the polls will be even on an election day. I promise you. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. I don't think about it. Just don't think about it.
What do you think?
Just don't think about it, Bill. That aged so well.
Yeah, really good.
And then there's this.
Oh,
They took the Top Gun poster.
I see it. Yeah. Big Mike wasn't exactly appealing, so.
That was so good. Okay, now this is my last video for the day. This is the last thing I've got for the day. All right. One of the constant insults that like to get thrown around by the left, that the right is full of white supremacists. Okay.
That sounds kind of racist.
It does. It does. But they do. They say anybody that voted for Trump is a white supremacist. Even the black people that voted for Trump are for white supremacy. Well, the terminology white supremacy has an interesting history.
So you're saying black folks created that name white supremacy?
That's correct. From Africa, because we are just amazed by the things they've done. Well, we describe them always by inventions. That's all. They can command water from far away through tubes into their bedrooms. We can even fetch a bucket of water from the next lake. You will be drowned. They can put electricity. We never had one in Africa. They have airplanes fly over us. It's amazing. Everything they've done is the reason my people say these people are superior, not because of slavery. They came to colonize us and they brought things we have never seen before. They gave a king a mirror and he was dancing and sold his people away. They brought guns we have never seen, boom, and killed somebody right away. You know what they used to do in the Congo?
Right.
They put dynamite in the rocks and then they hide.
Oh, no.
And then when they point their finger, it go boom. And the Congolese till today, they call the white man kiboom, the sound of the dynamite. And then they go down and they go like this. If they're not superior, why do you see every picture when the white men arrive in Africa, we're bowing to them? We have never seen a gun kill a human being. We have never seen a mirror. We have never seen a radio tune in and somebody speaking from England, the Queen's voice. So for us, all these things, these people must be really superior and close to God. They used to have a joke in Ghana that when God said, let's pray, the white man opened his eyes. The black people were covering his eyes. So the white men saw how God created the world. That's why they are so good at what they do. I am telling you, these are folklores from which we grew up. If anyone told you that white people came to Africa to tell us they're superior, it's a lie. They never said that.
Now, I had a problem with this video.
From which we grew up.
Okay, and I'm going to pause it here.
Anyone told you that white people.
Right here.
Okay.
When he's talking, whoever did the captioning for this video, they didn't spell out the word white.
No.
It's YT.
Yeah.
But when they talked about the black person, they spelled out black.
Yeah.
Whoever did the caption for this is racist, in my opinion.
Of course. But you can't call them that.
Oh, yeah, I can, because I just did. In fact, when I see somebody on especially on TikTok, they use that YT in their captioning. My first comment is to tell me you're a racist without telling me you're a racist.
Oh.
They hate me for that. And I don't care. I've had several creators block me simply for that comment. But this is where, according to this gentleman here, and by his accent, he's not American by birth or rearing. That is where white supremacy originated. Because the people in Africa actually felt whites were superior to them because of the inventions that they had and the capabilities that they had that the black people in Africa did not have. Talk about throwing a huge curveball into the meaning of white supremacy, into the meaning of the terms. Exactly, Fury. My feet are perfect. They reach exactly from my ankles to the ground.
Oh my God.
My feet are also perfect. So let's see here. I did that and I showed that video. What do I have here? Okay, that's Mass's video. I've done that one. There's nothing there. I've shown the Elon. You saw the Elon Musk ID, no ID state map, right?
No.
Okay, I'll show this again. No, I won't show it again. Let's see here. This little trick. Nope, that's not it. Okay. One bad dude, she sure showed us. It might be quicker for me just to go to Elon Musk's X account.
Might be. No, because I think I shared it. So let me scroll through my stuff here first. Yep, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. I knew I shared it. Here we go. Of the 18 states that Kamala won, 16 of them do not require an ID to vote. And Elon thought that was rather interesting. That is just quinky dinky. Okay.
That 16 of the 18 states that Kamala won, no ID requirement.
Yeah, gee, what a
Now,
weird coincidence.
That's not saying that Trump didn't win that every state that Trump won had an ID requirement, because that's not the truth. But 16 of the 18 that Kamala won don't have that requirement. And as someone earlier said, correlation does not necessarily mean causation, but it is enough to make you sit there and go,
Things that make you go,
Yeah, maybe something needs to be looked at here. So there's a lot more things going to be happening. The Antifa has started up again in Seattle. Supposedly, Antifa has got some plans for January 20th. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. There's some other plans by some other left-wing groups for protests starting the week of the 20th. So this is going to be a interesting time period. Actually looking out to see more leaks from different agencies. about their fears about what Trump's going to do to them when he takes office. I expect some leaks out of the State Department. I expect we'll see a lot more recriminations. Kamala had over $1 billion in campaign money, and she ended up $20 million in debt.
Yeah, and Trump is rooting for her now, we hear.
Well, Trump said, he suggested that, he'll lead a fundraiser to take care of her $20 million debt in the name of unity. Now, imagine Trump could pay off that $20 million debt all on his own if he wanted to. But I don't know I don't know how much money he still has laid out there, because he had some issues of his own last election. City saying he owed them money for police escorts and such. The last time he ran. So that's going, but you raised $1 billion and you overspent by $20 million. Supposedly she paid Megan the Stallion, whatever the hell her name is.
Oh God.
Supposedly paid her $1 million to come
perform.
That's what
you call it.
How much did Kamala pay? Okay. Supposedly, there's rumors out there that Kamala paid Beyonce a few $1 million, but they haven't been able to fact check that through the FEC or anything yet.
Right.
But it is known that she paid influencers on the internet, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook influencers, $15,000 to $1,000 per video.
Oh yeah.
Okay. $15,000 to $20,000 per video. And some of these guys are making 3 and 4 videos a day. And when I say guys, I mean guys and gals. Some of these people are making 3 to 4 videos a day. And even if they're only getting 10, they were getting $5,000 per video. They were cheap. They were only getting $5,000 a video, but they're making 3 videos a day. 3 or 4 videos a day, that's $15,000 to $20,000 a day income. In a week, they'll clear $100,000. In 5 days, they would clear $100,000. And they're doing this for several months. Let's just say they only did it for the 107 days. That's 3 months. So they did it for 3 months. I got to get my calculator out for this. All right, so that's $20,000 or $100,000 a week, $20,000 a day. Let's say they made 4 videos a day at $5,000.
I mean,
So
I don't have any followers, but I'll make you a video $10,000 a day. Damn, baby.
So that's $100,000 a day, or $100,000 a week. Okay, that's $400,000 a month. That's
okay.
times 3 months. That's $1,200,000 that she potentially paid some of these influencers.
Over the videos would be good. But...
over the 3 months that she was, because they said she only had 107 days of campaigning time.
Okay.
So
she really did. She had 4 years of people don't get that. People have long memories.
Yep. So this is going to, I tell you, you want to pay me $5,000 per video? I will make you 15-minute videos.
I mean, they might be pointing out your flaws, but at least people will remember you.
I will make you those 3 15-minute videos a day, every day. I will do that for you if you're going to pay me $5,000 a video. And if I knew it was only going to be a 3-month gig,
you put out as much as you can, get that money while you can.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
But you see how she's not paying anybody now. I don't know how happy I'd be being owed $400,000 and no sign of it coming up. That's what you get working for a criminal.
So, anyway. All right, that is all I've got for the day. 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Damn.
Pretty good stream for me today.
Uh-huh.
So, and I could have spent a lot more time talking about all these individual things. I could have stretched this. I had enough stuff today to make it through the week. But this train was going to be jumping tracks quick today. I warned everybody at the beginning. And one more time, ladies and gentlemen, just as a reminder, today is Veterans Day. All right. If you know a veteran in your real life, all right, thank them.
Thank you.
If you know a veteran in your real life that was actually in a war zone, Desert Storm,
I got to call where else later.
or anywhere else, thank them, because I never got sent to the desert. I never played in the sandbox. My time overseas was in Germany in the 80s, and the rest of my time was back here in the States. Even though I volunteered, I never got to go to the sandbox.
He was in Germany, and he wrote a horror story about it, too. It was a good book.
So, but God, especially the guys that served over in the sandbox, they deserve our thanks. All of our thanks. We've got some Vietnam veterans that are still out there that deserve our thanks. We've got some World War II veterans out there. I think the last World War I veteran has finally passed. We got Korean War veterans out there still. And innumerable veterans of military actions, Grenada and such. So if you know any of these people, thank them. Their lives had very interesting moments, to say the least. Mine was just a lot of freaking hours fixing airplanes. So other than that, anything you want to say before we head out the door there, Raman?
Oh my God, I hate everybody right now. I don't even know.
Okay.
Also, don't fall for that. Play games on your phone and you'll get cash scam. That's a scam.
Oh.
No, I got one of my girlfriends constantly telling me, "Oh, it's for real. I got 50 cents here and 50 cents there." Bullshit. I don't care about your 50 cents. I'm never gonna claim it. So.
Let me know when you start bringing in a couple $100 a week.
That's not me. I don't get that.
So,
I don't play those phone games.
all right, everybody. I've got 2 games on my phone, and I haven't played them in months. Literally months. So anyway, everybody, have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. And have a good one.